Hey there YouTube, this is Christy Lambie-Poo. Reporting to you for week 25 of keto and week 12 of the leptin reset. My fasting blood sugar has been good all week, but I had a bad night of sleep last night. So it went up to 101, but it's been pretty much in the 80s, and I think I had a 78 in there. So that's good news for that. Ketones were 2.8 today. Let's see. Weight was 220, so that's a release of 2.6 pounds this week. So that's a total of 41 pounds for keto for 25 weeks, and an average of 1.64 pounds overall for those 25 weeks. Measurements stayed the same, and for the 12 weeks of leptin reset, my total is 17.4 pounds now. The leptin reset weekly average comes back up to 1.45, so that's good, and all the other measurements were the same. CT was great this week. I got my temperatures a little lower to start with, 45, 46, and then up to probably 51 or 52 when I would finish at the worst, but most of the time it stayed around 50. So that way I was able to get my skin temperature under my compression garments down to 55, sometimes 56, and sometimes 54. So pretty much in that target zone, so I'm real happy about that. I did miss 2 days because we had quite a deep freeze here. We had 21 degrees one morning, and I think the high didn't reach 50, so it was just a little bit too much for me. Everything else is going really great. My food, a couple days of the week I had my mixture of for the Epcot protocol, and by the way, the leptin prescription is on jackkruse.com. It's JACKKRUSE.com, and the forums there are very valuable. Learned so much from Jack, and thank you, Dr. Kruse, and thank you all of folks on the forum who are his starfish, and been extremely helpful to me. I think that's all I have. It's all good. It's weird sometimes you don't lose inches, and sometimes obviously there's some visceral fat things going on there, which is what with body composition, that's what the cold thermogenesis protocol is supposed to help with. So I think it's working, and I think sometimes I can see hollows in my legs that I didn't see before. Like I said last week, even though I didn't lose weight last week, I could still see changes in the composition and the shrinkage, and it's definitely doing its job. And who would have thought that I would ever jump into having like 60 grams of protein for breakfast? I was one of those folks that I hesitated for probably about a month. I've been, reading Dr. Kruse's blogs and everything, and I just had it drilled into me too much from all these folks that are scared of gluconeogenesis because they really don't understand how the process works. But if you look at Dr. Kruse's videos and his podcasts and read his blogs, it makes a whole lot more sense than it hasn't. And I did not find that having that much protein did anything to my ketosis. It might have been slightly lower, but it did not take me out of ketosis. I did, I guess if I could have be able to afford to measure every 5 minutes or every hour or 15 minutes or whatever, maybe you'd see a dip in it, but it didn't affect. In fact, my weight loss has been overall great. I mean, I think the times I haven't lost is just the body readjusting or maybe dietary mistakes that I've made. I think those were the only bad weeks that I had when I really didn't compose my food properly, and maybe not in, I think, again, it comes back to circadian biology and circadian timing, and the whole stimulation of the vagus nerve, and getting that breakfast in your first 30 minutes, within 30 minutes of rising, and rising when the sun comes up. So if you can fix your circadian mismatches, then all this BS about macros, it's all about electrons, current of flow, paramagnetism, the three-legged stool, the photoelectric effect, magnetism, and water chemistry. So you can't argue it. I mean, you look at all the people on the site that have been with him for years, and the Neolithic diseases that they're reversing. Their labs are proof of it, of the changes, and eventually I'm going to do it. At least the basic labs for BUN creatinine ratio and my hormones and things like that. But just the results I'm getting, again, people that don't understand gluconeogenesis, they're using that as the argument for low protein, and it might be certain prescriptions. It's in the person's context where there might be needs to titrate that down. So, but the people that are just alarmists about gluconeogenesis, they don't understand it. So I just urge you to look for yourself. All the references are there, all the evidence that backs it up. Anyway, shout outs to all you folks at jackkruse.com and to all my folks out there in low carb land. I hope you all are having a fantastic week, and namaste.